What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Hot Take. Today, we're in a 2014 Dodge Charger Pursuit. It was a police car. It has since been converted to a street car. This is a 5.7-liter Hemi V8, making 375 horsepower. We have the owner, Denton, with us. Denton, tell us a little bit about this fine automotive specimen.
Yeah, so of course, this used to be a Ohio car. Well, it's all-wheel drive as well compared to most other Chargers, which is rear-wheel drive. So everything else is set up differently. It also still has some leftover stuff from the police department, like a spotlight, the dome light, as well as the Kevlar lining on the doors as well.
Yeah, no, the light is super cool to play around with. We said for the most part, it has like a catback exhaust and it's stock otherwise.
Yeah, so it's none really been done to the motor yet. Mainly just a catback exhaust for noise.
Yeah, noise. Oh, and that fat intake under the hood.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, so this will be fun. With that said, let's go ahead and hop out on the road and see how she drives. Ah, there's the drone.
Yeah, it's just that one little blip.
Is it like, maybe it like rattles or something?
It does rattle a little bit. I haven't really gotten a chance to check underneath to make sure on everything.
Oh, fair enough. So some initial impressions. It's very mushy. The steering is like light. The column shifter, it's very light, but mushy in a way that you would expect it to be, in like a good way.
Mm-hmm.
All the inputs are really easy. And I like that. It soaks up these bumps, for the most part, pretty nicely. It maybe rides actually a little harsher than I would have expected.
So yeah, it does have a stiff, like a self-leveling suspension in the rears, actually.
Okay.
So all the suspension is police package specific. So compared to like a RT, it's a lot stiffer. So you will feel a lot more.
Okay, that makes sense. It's funny the airbag is rattling.
Yeah, that does rattle as well.
It's got good torque.
Yeah, so it's also another design from the engine. It's, puts down a lot of power on the lower end. It does suffer a little on the top end.
Okay, so most of my torque is going to be in the lower part of the RPM range.
Majority from like the 1 to 3,000. That's where it's like kind of in a good band there.
I mean, that makes sense for the police cars. I mean, they need that good torque so they can quickly get out from a stop.
Right.
Go catch up to any perpetrators. So you said most of these were not all-wheel drive, correct?
So yeah, it really depends on the department. So you could have a choice of all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. Rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive have different gearings as well. So, and then of course one costs more, the other costs less.
Right, so it just depends on however that police department optioned it out.
It really is.
Considering how big this car is, it doesn't feel terribly boaty. Or I guess it feels boaty, but it doesn't roll as much as I would have expected. My Camry certainly rolls a lot more than this does.
Really?
Which is funny.
That is kind of funny.
Yeah. No, not bad, honestly. Yeah, I'm liking it so far. So if we try the manual mode, you said
You just hit the button on the end, and then it'll see what gear you're in down there.
Is this a 5-speed automatic?
Yes.
Okay, so then
You just press down.
down. So now I'm in 4.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. Oh, we're at that the 1800, the weird exhaust zone again.
Yeah, again, it's just that weird little area where it just, that little blip.
Yeah. So more or less revs.
Yeah. Generally more.
Generally more. Whoa, it sounds good. It sounds really really mean. You get the feeling there's a substantial engine in front of you, and we are stuck behind the Amazon van. That's unfortunate.
Rather unfortunate, actually.
The gearing's so long in this car.
It is, yeah. Especially third gear. That's the longest out of the whole thing. First and second is great. Third, you just kind of flat line on that one.
yeah, you had that big drop in RPM. We'll try that again. Yeah, drop from like 4,500 back down to like just below 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds good though. It sounds really good. This is actually my first time ever driving a car with a Hemi in it.
Really?
Yeah, I always like the way they sound, but like in the interior, it's mean, it's growly. What's the best word to describe this? America.
I guess so. It is. It's everything you could ask for. It's, V8 is a big car. It's loud. It's rowdy.
Exactly.
You can get rowdy with it.
You can get rowdy with it. That's what we like to hear. It's what us Americans enjoy.
Absolutely.
So at any time, if I flip it, if I hit this button, it goes back to automatic?
Yep, you just push that button in the end, and then there you go.
Oh, and then the eco thing flashed. So is that?
So yeah, eco thing is just, kind of like a little, depending on your gas pedal placement, gives you a little reminder like, hey, you're not, ripping on it.
Ah, okay. So if I push it down more, the eco went away.
Yep.
I see.
You're not eco anymore.
Not eco anymore. That's really quick.
Yeah, it does get up to speed pretty well.
The 5-speed automatic is funny. It's almost like you get a short 1-2 and then the rest of it's kind of geared like a 4-speed auto.
Yeah, then again, it was, it's a Mercedes Trans from like the 90s.
Oh, was that the chassis this is built on?
I
right?
believe it was an E-Class.
E-Class chassis, yes.
Yeah, so yeah, it was kind of built on that. Then they, modify a few things. But transmission-wise, it's from a Mercedes. So, and it's from the 90s.
Hey, you know what? Not a bad choice.
No, it's not terrible. It's definitely pretty stout.
Oh, I love that. That's the classic American car sound right there. It has a lot of good torque throughout the entire rev range, I think. The transmission being long does kind of help because it drops you back into the mid-range between each shift, which I'm guessing they did on purpose because that's probably where peak torque is.
Right.
For this engine. No, it feels good. Honestly, I think back in 2014? I guess there were a lot of cars that could outrun this, but not for the same money.
No. Then again, the technology, like engine and transmission, they've been around since 2006.
Yeah.
So you're saying this boat can turn?
This boat can turn. Exactly. Oh no, our light moved a little bit.
Yeah, it does catch wind.
Oh no. Well,
Yeah.
now he's just right there. I got into the brake a little bit. Pedals a little bit spongy, but kind of about what we expect. Once you kind of get into it, they're adequate for the car. So they're about right. Just turning it around help maybe.
Generally, I've always tried to find a sweet spot to make sure it doesn't fly backwards, but so far no luck.
No?
No.
Well, we'll point it right into our face.
There you go.
Yeah, we turn it on and blind ourselves while we're driving.
back.
I'm surprised at how many things sort of rattle in this car.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, super, like, fancy and everything.
Yeah.
It definitely, a lot of things are, loose or not fitted properly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess some of that's probably it being a police car.
That too. I mean, it does get bounced around a lot too. Plastic over time, it'll just get worn out.
Yeah. That's character.
It's character.
That's character.
It has
the self-leveling rear.
Yeah, the nibble mats.
Nibble mats.
Yeah, I think that's the brand.
Oh, okay.
They're called nibble mats. They're essentially kind of like a self-leveling setup. Some people say, oh, that's just a gimmick. Other people say, wow, it actually works. It's not like the SRT8s though. Those ones are like 3-stage, electronically controlled.
Okay, so that one was more complicated.
Yeah, this one is like the best you could get while being simple.
Honestly, after driving it on these roads, I haven't driven a regular one, but I would say that relative to a car this big and like of this stature, but it still feels relatively responsive. That's not good. That'll get you in trouble really fast.
It really does.
All right, now we'll run this in kilometers. It's like half throttle. It's still really torquey. You don't have to get on it to really get a lot out of this engine.
No, not fully at all. Not fully at all.
No. All right, so now let's do a kick down. I'm guessing it'll probably grab third. Grab second.
Yeah, so technically second is like the sweet gear, especially even if you're doing like roll racing.
Yeah.
People always say, oh, 40 roll, but for the cars with the 5-speed, the NAG 1, the 30 roll, it's actually kind of like the sweet speed too.
Yeah, where this really does, yeah, because you're like sort of just in the power band and you still have a lot of gear left.
Yeah.
Yeah, kickdown's nice, transmission is responsive. The 5-speed automatic by 2014 standards is a little outdated, but I mean, for 06 is probably about right.
The best thing in the world.
Yeah, no, it's good. Has good power, good torque. It's, yeah, great experience. So we finished our test drive of the Dodge Charger Pursuit. Overall, it handled a lot better than I expected it to. A lot of cars like this, and we did drive a Crown Vic, back in 22, I want to say, and they're very boaty, but they also have a lot of body roll, kind of playing with that. But this, as far as like handling dynamics goes, it's a lot tighter than you would expect. It sort of did the same thing the Neon did. They're like, all right, they gave you the engine, they gave you the brakes, all-wheel drive, all these performance parts, but the interior, they're like, we gave you nothing. Because I mean, in the rear, we don't have the wall now, but you essentially would have been keeping criminals. Essentially. So who needs, who needs all the features? You got a radio, you got climate control. That's it. So there you go. That is my hot take, Denton. Thank you.
Of course, thank you.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about this car?
No, I mean, it's everything you could ask for a fun daily.
Yeah, exactly. So with that, let's go ahead and give it a score. The score is as shown. The Charger Pursuit does better than our manual Crown Victoria. This offers a lot more power for the money and feels more modern. What hurt this car a lot in the scoring was its bare-bone nature. It doesn't offer a lot for the user, but this could be seen as an advantage for some people. Should you buy it? The Charger Pursuit is not a bad buy if you can find a decent one, but you will have to deal with random rattles and panels that don't line up properly. Reliability is there for the most part, and parts are cheap. What this car offers is a cheap all-wheel drive V8 sedan that will get you into trouble if you aren't careful. The 6th Gen Charger was an iconic car that defined the start of the millennium for Dodge, a modern take on the classic big body V8 American sedan that they used to make a dime a dozen. With the added benefit of all-wheel drive and the well-geared 5-speed automatic transmission, it's a blast. If you want a car for this bill, a Charger Pursuit could be exactly what you were looking for.